Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon111, and welcome back to Jelly is Sticky, where we're continuing with coconut puzzles. Coconuts cannot be used to solve strawberries, so let's get some strawberries moving, shall we? I see that I can stick some strawberries together, but I still don't see where I'm going to get like the leverage to do what I need to do. So this coconut is going to be a solid square the entire time. And I do witness that like I have leverage to push like up and down on this bit. So I have to somehow like turn that into a handle. So that would enable me to go up and down. I need to... Well, let's just try some stuff. Like, I witnessed that I can do this, and now I have the little bit that I can push up and down, which is kind of good. And I also witnessed that I could do... Let's ignore the fact that that's pushed against the wall. I could do this, and then have this that I can move up and down, which is kind of cool. It's not helping me get anything here. How do I imagine I'm getting things here? I don't know. I don't have an appropriate handle to get any leverage here. That has not done much for me. I could have done this first. And it does slightly more for me here, but really not a lot. Could also do that. That's looking slightly more promising, but I still can't like get in there. Actually, is this interesting? I suppose I did this. If this whole thing were tucked all around me, then I'd be able to move the whole thing in all four directions. So is there a way to get that whole thing tucked all around me? Which is to say, if I had this, and I had this, and then brought this over here, and then getting it tucked all around me was the problem, because, I mean, I can make the shape, but now I'm not inside there. And, okay. So how would I get myself tucked inside here? That's a great question. So when I have two bits of it, like left and right, I can only move it left and right, and it's against the south wall, which means I can't move up into it. Which means it would already have to be packed over there. Okay, yeah. So... suppose we had that ready to go. But then suppose also that this were kindly nested like that. So that when I slide over into here, dunk, now I'm inside. Great. And then presumably this solves the puzzle? Yes, success. Great. Okay. That felt like a good start. Let's see if we can get a good continuation. Air bubbles. I can use this top section to move to the left, but I can never go to the right, because if I do, it will incinerate a strawberry. Air bubbles. I see that there are 4 air bubbles in this column, or in this row, and 1 in this row, and 2 in this row, etc. Let's just try swimming through here to get a sense of what's happening. So I would need to go to here, and then I could go to, I see. I'd want to go to the right here, and then I could move down again, and then I could go right, move down again, and okay. So, it seems like I don't need any air bubbles. No, I do need one. Let's see. In the bottom left, from here, I need to take 2 steps to the right before I'll be able to move down again. So I want 2 air bubbles in the top column. I need to take 2 steps to the right before I'd be able to move down again. So I want 2 in the second column. If there had been 2, then I could move down Then I just want 1 in the third column. I'd move down. I'd want 3 in the fourth column, or 4 in the fourth column. 1 in the fifth column. No, 2 in the fifth column. 3 in the sixth column. And then I'd be there, I think. Okay, so I think I see the format of the puzzle. So, even after knowing what I want, then the question is, how do I get what I want? Because getting 2 coconuts even into the top row here is not obviously trivial. However, I think I can have as many coconuts as I want in the bottommost column because I'll never, or bottommost row, because I'll never be pushing those, and so I witness that I could do this at the start. It will be helpful to me if I actually write these numbers down. So I want 2 in the top column, then I want 2, then I want 1, then I want 4, then I want 2, then I want 3. 2, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3. Can I arrange for 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3. That's already, just working from the bottom. The 3 here is already difficult to get, and the 4 is almost impossible. How am I going to get the 4 hole? 2, 2, 1, 4. I need to clear all the coconuts out of here. Let's reset now that I have that sense. So 2, 2, 1, 4. I need to clear all the coconuts out of here, which implies that these need to go down and these need to go up. 2, 2. How am I only going to get 2 here now? No problem. 1, 4, 2, 3. I need to get 3. Ooh. I already can't get 3 here. So I did something wrong down there. But otherwise, that was looking pretty good. And I see why it was a problem. Do I see how to solve it? So the problem is I have to get rid of this one, right? That's fine. Okay, so once again, yeah, because I could do that. Okay, so 2, 2, incorrect. 2. So there's 2 air holes in this row, 2 air holes in this row. I only need 1 air hole in this row. I need at least 4 air holes in this row, 2 and 3. Okay, so I have enough. Like I have more than enough right now, right? I think so. So I think I can just do it. 2, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3. I need 3 in the bottom. No, I need 2 in the bottom. I can't fill the bottom row. Okay, so there's 2 at the end that I didn't write down because I didn't see it. Okay, so those are the other 2 air holes that I didn't use. Okay, that is going to make the puzzle more difficult, but now we know. So if I start with this, this is the 4. 2, 3, 2. This 3 is really hard to get with just 3. Yeah, I already screwed it up, right? There's never going to be a way to get this one out, and so I have to come up with a way to get this one out that also leaves 2 on the bottom. Okay. Could I have done... I can't do this because that screws up the 4 that I need all across the top. Because I need this row to have completely empty. So in order to get this row completely empty, I think I have to do this to get it out of the left-hand side. So the problem is there need to be 3 air holes in here. And I'm clearing these out, which means I have to do something along these lines. And so it's like, how do I get 3 air holes in here? It's easy to get 2 air holes in here, but the third one, this is hard to deal with, and this is hard to deal with. So I have to push something in some different order. Still not sure that this is right, but if I start with these moves, it feels not right. What if I do things differently? But how? If I do this, I still haven't solved anything on the bottom. Like, I have to push this south, and I have to push this north. Okay, starting to have a brainstorm. Suppose I push this up here and push this up too. This is now a way for me to push these 3 up to start clearing the path for my 4, while leaving this one still free to move up to, say, here. I could push this down. I don't have a way to clear out the 4 right now. When I was here, if I had done this, could I have done something? No, because I need to push this down first. But then, what is it, 2-2-1? Currently I have 2-1-2. I have too many here and too few in a row above me over here. Okay, this is getting closer though. So we're going somewhere. Could I have changed this around a bit, perhaps? It's 2-2-1 at the start. I'm going to be pushing 1 up here for certain, so I can only have 1 other 1 over here. Suppose it's that one. This guy is going down. And this is the row with 4, so imagine that this guy gets shoved over here. So now I have this entire column so I can move around more freely. Now I can push this, oops. Now I can push this guy up. So 2-2-1, we have the top correct. Yeah, we have the top correct. Okay. And can I navigate around it? I think I can, actually. It's not obvious, but I think I can. I need to clear out the 4. I just need to move the 1 who is north of me now down 1. I never actually wrote down, hold on, it's 4-2-3-2. I didn't write down the final 2. Okay, 2, 2, 1, 4, this is a problem. 2, I have an extra here. 3, this is a problem. And 2. Okay, so the 3 and the 2 are solved. So now all I have to do is move this block south 1. And why can I not do that by doing that? I think I just did it. 2 airspaces, 2 airspaces, 1 airspace, 4, 2, 3, 2. That did it. We got it. It took some time, but we got it. Zing, zang, zoom, zizzle, zop, Zippity doodah. Success. All right, we're solving all these puzzles. 13 holes is the name of the puzzle. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, there are 13 holes. Okay, great. I just need to figure out how to organize these Tetris pieces. That doesn't seem too bad. Feels a little bit fidgety, but let's just start putting them anywhere that it seems. But they're not all Tetris pieces. They're all kinds of weird, crazy shapes. Okay, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. All right. There are some that are very tall. There are not many that are very wide. Who is particularly constraining? There's a boxy piece over here, this guy, whose boxiness I feel like could be a liability towards the end. So where all could you fit? In fact, there are very few places you could fit, but I see one of them right over here. So let's go ahead and slot you in there to begin. And then who else is particularly ugly shaped? I mean, there's this 5 tall vertical thing. Feels like there will be places to stick him in at some point, though. Not too super worried about him. There are these guys who seem potentially problematic. So you, good sir. There are a variety of places that you could go in the puzzle, because there are a lot of long vertical stretches. Let's go ahead and move this guy mostly out of the way for the moment. Yeah, I don't know that there's a good methodology for doing this, so I think I just need to place a fair number of pieces somewhere where they seem to go, and then start jiggling the constraints as we get close to solving the puzzle. So there are some densely packed, there's a 4 thingy here and a 4 thingy here, and now that I've already used this one boxy piece to the south of me, in order to cover those 4 thingies, I'll need to find more ways that pieces are willing to kind of mesh together. And so even, for example, down here, what pieces would mesh together? I need kind of like a zigzaggy piece. Yeah, this is actually a very good constraint to work with next, I believe. So what type of piece could fit there? There are surprisingly few. Let's take this guy out because I think he is already not working with my constraint. So what type of piece could fit here? I have kind of like the opposite of that piece over here, and given how difficult the bottom right is already looking, I imagine, given how good this guy looks for the top left, that he actually is going to go in the top left. So let's go ahead and just put him there. And imagine he'll be used to solve that constraint. I feel like this guy has some good possibilities of working down in the bottom right. And I still feel good about that. So if you were there, who do I think might be in the upper right? There's a possibility that it's you. No, you would be covering, I'm imagining I'm going to use all of the pieces. Who else might work in the upper right? Almost nobody. It is the case, I'm witnessing, that another way to do the upper right would be to use this piece in the upper right rather than the lower left. So let's try that out for a moment. And then in the lower left, if I needed to cover this, is there anybody left who seems suitable for that position? And actually, yes. Unfortunately, it's one of the pieces that is least accessible in terms of the order that I've grouped all these pieces at the moment. But if I could get this guy out without trapping any of the others, and so far I don't think I've trapped any of the others, it would be nice if there were guardrails that somehow alerted you if you'd accidentally pushed a piece against a wall. I'll just have to be constantly vigilant to make sure I don't push a piece all the way against a wall and discover or regret much, much later into my solution. But so far all the pieces seem to be movable. And this one does slot into that corner reasonably well. Can I still deal with this? That's actually already quite difficult. There's one possibility, and it is this guy. So come be my savior for the moment, and slot yourself right into here. This is kind of the new next tightest constraint, perhaps. I'm starting to see things. I'm going to jump around a little bit, because it really looks like this guy wants to go here now. And this guy wants to go... Alright, it's okay for me to push some pieces... Oops, not that far though. Push some pieces out of the way in the act of getting pieces back in the correct slot. That looks good. And then I note that the C-shaped piece could still fit in here. Well, C. Reverse C? We'll call him reverse C. Sure. Reverse C, you're up. And I need to just push these pieces to the south one to slot him in. And then I can bring him back. Boop. And a boop. This guy could go up in the top. So yeah, I used a few initial constraints, and that it seems like the rest of the puzzle is just solving itself, and so that is super great. Look at that. Are you looking at it? For those of you who had walked away or were reading their email while they were just listening to the sound of my voice, now is the time to look at the beautiful 13 holes that I have constructed. It's great. Perfect. Okay. 4 narrow paths. Okay. This guy, the bottom left, can easily go anywhere. Top right, given the way that I push on him, he could go in the upper right pretty easily. This guy is ill-suited to go to the bottom right. He could go to the bottom left, and then this guy could go to the bottom right, and then this guy could go to the top left. That seems all plausible. All right, I think who do I have the least confidence in? And the guy I have the least confidence in is this guy, so let's try to do this guy first. Boop, 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 boop. That worked fine. This guy I said I was going to send to the top right. I have great confidence in this. Do, 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 do. All right. I thought I had the most confidence in this guy, that he could go anywhere, but now I'm second guessing myself, so let's try to send this guy somewhere. That worked just fine. And yeah, there were 4 narrow paths, but they were not narrow enough to stop me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have been fooled. I've been a foolish fool. Could I get this guy... Could he have gone in here? No. I need to use other pieces as leverage to push him? No, the other pieces would just get stuck and I wouldn't be able to get them back out. So where's this guy going? Could he go down here? No. Could he go in the upper right? Without loss of generality, I can't imagine that he can. Because of the symmetry, this is going to have the exact same problem. How do I get the T-piece anywhere? Maybe I can use this piece as leverage to get the T-piece into the upper right? Let's just try that, because I can't imagine how this piece is ever getting anywhere. So I need someone to push him to the right. This guy could probably do it. Then he'd need to be pushed up again, and that's clearly impossible. And without loss of generality, that happens in all 4 directions. And I myself, the cross, am also not capable of solving any of these corner... No, hold on. I did not notice that this one is not tucked into the corner. This is where eyeball cross go. And the T-piece is going to be left in the center. Okay. So if the T-piece is left in the center, And I am in the bottom right. Okay, I think we have our information. I'm not sure where... No, I think I know where everybody is. Because you can still go in the top right. There's still no problem with that. So boop-a-doop-a-doop. You go there. I'm going in the bottom right. TP's is going in the center, which means Box has to go into the upper left. By process of elimination. So you go up there. TP's, you hang out here in the center, unexpectedly. And I hang out down here. Okay, so that was the thing that made the 4 narrow paths slightly less obvious than they could have been. Retrieve. I have a tool with which I can retrieve a piece of strawberry jam or jelly. I keep changing the word. Like, the title of the puzzle game is Jelly is Sticky, so I should just always call it jelly, and yet I do not. Leave your complaints in the comments. I see how this is starting to get a little bit more fraught. A lot more fraught. How am I... Do I need to push this down and start wiggling it now from a different direction? Perhaps. But there is no such direction unless I create such a direction by wiggle woggle. Well, I can't get around this. While this piece is nice and tall and long, I can push it down. I can push the top portion of it left. I can push it right. I can push it up. I can only push the top portion left. And so the question becomes, how am I ever going to get that piece? And I think the answer is I need to create a handle with the other 3. What would such a handle look like, shape-wise? It would be a little L segment thingy. That looks like a capital L, which I could probably create like this. And then successfully move up to where it needs to grab. Uh-oh. Did I move it too far to the left? I moved it too far to the left. Let's leave it there. Then let's move it here. Okay. Handle exists, but it didn't help me. Because when I try to move, whoop, I just sheared it right back off. Could I push it down and then somehow get at it from below? No, because I can't push it that way. Did it help me at all to have... No. No. I made a clever handle, but it didn't really help me. I can poke this. Does that help me? Yes and no. Mostly yes. Mostly yes. I have managed to bring all of them over to this side. Great success. However, I pushed it too far to the left. Again. Because I'm prone to do so. So let's go ahead and push it up now. I think it's okay to shear this piece off. In fact, it is valuable to do so, because then I could push this piece to the right, and then push this piece. I can't push this piece back to the left. But perhaps I can... If I move all of this back to the left, I still have a problem because, okay. However, I can shear this bit off and just leave it up there. However, having done so, now I can't push the rest of it down. Darn it. Come on, brain. Feels very close. The problem is I can't push that to the left. So I need this vertical now, which I can do. There we go. So now in this shape, now it is safe for me to pull this all the way over to here, except for I can't get below it. I pushed it too far to the south. Can I get around it over here? No. And I can't pull it left over here. Okay, so that was the wrong shape. I need to be able to like get around both sides of it, and that's surprisingly difficult. If I do this, let's leave that there and imagine, yeah, I can get that back. Okay, so from here, pull it to the left. I can get around to the right-hand side of it in order to push it up. Like, I should be able to solve it from here, right? So I can do that. I can pull the whole thing to the left, sure. I can push it down. That was probably bad. Let's not pull it to the left yet. Let's instead... maybe now pull it to the left. And I can shove it into its correct shape like that. There we go. Okay. Being able to move to the south and to the right of it as I was reshaping it so that I'd eventually be able to get into position, like leaving enough space to do so, was difficult. There have been many puzzles in this game where I would have liked to be able to like paint the screen. On this particular puzzle, I wanted to paint the south 2 rows a color and also the right 5 rows a color, just to illuminate how much space, empty space, I needed to leave in order to be able to like walk around the east and south of the piece that I was trying to shape. There was the puzzle that I wanted a checkerboard. Like, there's a number of times where it'd be nice if you could kind of paint the tiles. But that is not an affordance that this game has given us. And so we'll just have to imagine it in our heads. And it's not something that I'm going to add in post or like use some other crazy tools to try to do. It would look cool. I have seen people streaming puzzles where they have the ability to write on the screen using their mouse or a pen or whatever. And it is pretty amazing for being able to help visualize the thought process that's going on in the streamer or YouTuber's head. But I do not have access to such technology in my current configuration. All right, we solved that, and so that means that 9 of 9 Cocos difficilis. It's even difficult to say have been solved. Difficult puzzles as well. I think that is a nice, clean place to go ahead and call this an episode. I'm going to say, I hope as always, that you all are having a great day. And at this point, 233 out of 314, there's still a lot of puzzles left. Not sure where they all are. Maybe we'll find out next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.